This is National Native News. I'm Antonia Gonzalez. Thanksgiving is a holiday that often gives Native people mixed feelings. Brian Bull of Buffalo's Fire shares a few perspectives from across Indian country.
On one hand, the romanticized depiction of pilgrims and Indians happily feasting together in 1621 sidesteps the wars, disease, displacement, and oppression that came in the centuries afterwards. Some Native people boycott Thanksgiving, and the United American Indians of New England will hold their annual Day of Mourning this year, a protest held in Plymouth, Massachusetts since 1970. On the other hand, Native people love to eat with friends and family. What is one to do? Anne-Marie Dakota is the Indigenous Curriculum and Instruction Specialist for Bismarck Public Schools. A member of the Turtle Mountain Band of Chippewa, Dakota helps educators teach about Thanksgiving from a more authentic Native perspective. And her family reframes holidays like Thanksgiving and the 4th of July to be more relevant to them.
So instead of celebrating the holidays, they celebrate still being here, the survival, the ancestor histories. They acknowledge what happened to us. That's one thing that I would like to push, that we're still here, and that's why we still celebrate, to keep our language, stories, and culture alive.
And that Thanksgiving turkey might be pushed aside to make room for fry bread, Indian tacos, and Dakota's personal favorite, wild rice casserole. Someone else who's given the holiday a lot of thought is Nancy Kelsey, an Anishinaabe of the Little River Band of Ottawa Indians and a columnist for Cleveland's Plain Dealer newspaper. She thinks it's important Native people reflect on the holiday and make it their own.
Given all of the centuries of labor on our ancestors' part for us to be here as thriving people, there is no wrong way to celebrate Thanksgiving. We can make the holiday into something that is special for us.
Kelsey says allies, including teachers, can learn about the tribes native to the lands they stand on, lift up and celebrate Indigenous storytellers, and speak up when racist and ignorant things happen. For National Native News, I'm Brian Bull.
The Gila River Indian Community has long relied on convenience stores to feed its 13,000 residents, who otherwise may have to drive as far as half an hour away to neighboring cities with grocery stores. But as KJZZ's Gabriel Pietrorazio reports, a new market, a decade in the making, has opened much closer to home.
This isn't a Bash's, it's not a Safeway or a Walmart.
Duncan Winston with Gila River Development says the tribe's new 14,000 square foot supermarket in the heart of Saskatoon is much more than a store. It's a symbol of their sovereignty, since few, if any, tribes outright own their own grocers.
We don't want to leave that in the hands of a larger chain to determine who gets what. We want to be able to fight for ourselves and bring the necessary goods to our community when we need them.
From fresh produce and butchered meats to a deli serving local favorites, like the Works Burger.
One of the biggest demands from the community was you got to bring the Works back, and so we've done that.
But that doesn't come cheap because of what some refer to as resflation.
We have experienced it here. I mean, it's difficult finding reputable vendors who are willing to bring us goods and services at a fair price. Although we are rural, we are a lot closer to the metropolitan Phoenix area than a lot of the other tribes in Arizona.
For National Native News, I'm Gabriel Pietrorazio.
And I'm Antonia Gonzalez.
National Native News is produced by Kawanak Broadcast Corporation with funding by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting.
Need an actionable plan to achieve your goals? Kaufman & Associates strengthens Native organizations through culturally grounded strategic planning. More at kaufmaninc.com, KAUFFMANINC.com.
Skugtash. For more than 40 years, Ramona Farms has revived ancient traditional foods, tepary beans, pinoli, polentas, and more, all from store.ramonafarms.com. Ramona Farms supports this show. Tom Yang.
Native Voice One, the Native American Radio Network.